Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to USA International Speedway. I'm Aaron Johnson with the Johnson iRacing team, bringing you today's feature event. It's 35 fast laps in the iRacing SK Modified Series at USA International Speedway. This is the top split, the best of the best, the top drivers that were on the iRacing server at the time this race was offered. Let's have a look at today's starting lineup. Starting in the 16th spot in car number 4, it's the iRacing SK Mod of Tyson Broad out of Perth, Australia. Starting 15th in car number 15, that's the Nitro Energy Drinks Modified of Kurt Batty, Kurt Racing out of Canada. Starting 14th in car number 3, that's Anthony Celentano, Anthony in the Sim Auto Racing Association Modified, racing out of Colorado. Starting in the 13th spot in car number 16, it's the In-N-Out Burger car of David Moore, David out of California. Starting 12th, racing out of the Atlantic region, it's the Red Bulletin Modified of Cale Ogle. Starting 11th out of Pensacola, Florida in car number 9, that is Jacob Houston. Starting 10th, it's the Mystique Modified, racing out of the Northeast region, that is Thomas Andrews. Starting 9th in car number 10, it's Tyler Ricker, Tyler out of the Northeast region or the New England region as well. Starting 8th in car number 12, he's going to show up on your screen as car 06, but in your telemetry as car 12. That is Matthew Zaccardo out of New York. Starting 7th in car number 8, it's Kurt Workman. That's the Snap-on SK Mod out of Des Moines, Iowa. Now, your top 6 starters, starting in the 6th spot in the Bud Light SK Mod, that is Kurt Workman. Kevin Nelson out of Vermont. Nelson will show up as a different number on the car than on the screen. Starting 5th in car number 7, that is Thomas Flanagan. Flanagan in the BRAAP graphics car, he's going to show up on your screen as car 87. Nelson's going to show up as 99. And he's Flanagan's out of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Starting 4th in car number 00, that is Aaron Johnson. Johnson will show up on your telemetry as car number 1. He races out of Bailey, Colorado in the State Farm Modified. Starting 3rd in car 11, that is Matt Kuhn. Matt in the Snap-on car out of Pennsylvania. Starting 2nd in car number 5, that is the younger Thomas Flanagan, also in the Team BRAAP graphics car, also number 87. These cars wrapped identically, also out of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And on the pole in car number 2, that's Matthew Beeman, the Eagle 1 Modified, Matthew racing out of Florida. 35 laps at USA International. In the SK Modifieds, the SK Mods related here to the Whelen Mods, slightly detuned, similar in terms of their physical handling characteristics, but lower horsepower. USA International, a nice track for these cars, a high banking, fairly wide groove, not too hard to pass here. Pace car is in. Beeman's going to lead them to the flag. Matthew Beeman hammers the throttle. They head down the front straightaway. It's going to be Matthew Beeman taking the lead with Thomas Flanagan the younger in 2nd, Matt Kuhn 3rd. Johnson sneaks into the 4th spot with the other Thomas Flanagan in 5th, Nelson 6th, Workman 7th. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3, Matthew Beeman continues to lead. It's Beeman, Flanagan, then Kuhn and Johnson, as Matt Beeman's going to lead lap number 1 here at USA International. Beeman leads him through the center of 1 and 2 now onto the back straightaway. It's going to be Matthew Beeman leading Flanagan right on his bumper. Those two cars pulling away slightly from the 3rd place car of Matt Kuhn. Beeman holds the lead. Flanagan 2nd, that is Flanagan the younger running in 2nd, Matt Kuhn in 3rd, Johnson 4th, Flanagan the elder in 5th, with Kevin Nelson 6th, Ricker 7th, Zaccardo 8th, Houston 9th, and Thomas Andrews rounding out the top 10. Matthew Beeman holds a nice smooth line down the front straightaway. He's going to lead lap 3, and lap 4 now underway, a 35-lap feature event here at USA International, and Matt Beeman shows the way in the Eagle 1 Modified. Behind Beeman, the BRAAP graphics mod. Then in 3rd, it is Matt Kuhn in the Snap-on car. Behind him, Johnson in the State Farm automobile. And then the BRAAP team car of Thomas Flanagan the elder. Out front, Matt Beeman runs a flawless race as he heads down the back straightaway. Car now into turn number 3. It's Beeman, Flanagan, Kuhn, Johnson, Flanagan. And Beeman and Flanagan pulling away from the rest of the field. We are on lap number 6 of 35 now. Beeman leads, Flanagan second. Let's move through the field and see how they run on the Speedway. Second, that is Thomas Flanagan the elder. Sorry, Flanagan the younger. Then in third, Johnson looks like he's trying to make a move on Matt Kuhn. Johnson's got a wheel underneath, and it looks like he'll try to get past. They come down the front straightaway. Kuhn takes the outside lane. The outside lane a little bit quicker, more momentum out of the turn. Johnson drives down deep into turn number 2 and manages to pull off the pass as they head down into the back straightaway, and he's going to bring Thomas Flanagan the younger with him. It'll be Beeman, Flanagan, Johnson, Flanagan, Kuhn as they come out of turn 4 onto the front straightaway. Then behind Kuhn on the Speedway, looking to the inside of Kuhn, that's the 99 of Kevin Nelson, the Bud Light car. Just behind Nelson, it's the 10 of Tyler Ricker. Behind Ricker, that's the 06 of Matthew Zaccardo. Zaccardo currently being shown in the 8th spot. Then behind Zaccardo on the Speedway, that is the 9 of Jacob Houston. Behind Houston, it looks like the 13 of Thomas Andrews. And behind Andrews, then, it's the 3 of Anthony Celentano. That car being shown in the 9th spot. Behind Celentano in 10th, that's the 4 of Tyson Broad. And behind Broad on the Speedway, the next car in line is the 14 of Cale Ogle. Behind Ogle, that's the 12 of Kurt Batty. Batty currently being shown in the 12th spot. Next car on the Speedway is car number 8 of Kurt Workman. Workman currently shown in the 13th spot. Then behind Workman, we're down to the 15 of Kurt Batty. Batty being shown in 14th. Then Matt Kuhn in the pits along with the 09 car. That's the Bud Light Chevrolet. Back around there to the 06 of Kevin Nelson. So there must have been the 06 of Matthew Zaccardo. And we're back around to the front. That's the 2 of Matthew Beeman. Beeman continues to hold the pace. It's Beeman 1, Flanagan 2, Johnson 3, Flanagan the younger 4. Tyler Ricker now has moved into the 5th spot with Zaccardo 6th, Houston 7th, Andrews 8th, Celentano 9th, and Tyson Broad rounding out the top 10. Matt Kuhn, early third place runner, being shown 2 laps down, and Kevin Nelson in the 6th car being shown out of the race. Out front, Matthew Beeman runs a nice smooth line. He's extended the lead now to about a car length and a half over the 5 of Thomas Flanagan. Those 2 cars pulling away from the 00 of Johnson that currently runs 3rd. Johnson with a slight advantage over Thomas Flanagan the younger. Out front, it is still Matthew Beeman with Flanagan the elder right behind him. Then Johnson, Flanagan the younger, and Ricker. Out of turn 4 onto the front straightaway, Matthew Beeman leads. We are on lap 14 of a scheduled 35-lap feature event. It has been Matthew Beeman so far flag to flag, qualified on the pole, and has led every lap at USA International Speedway. The SK Modifieds, this race from season 4 of 2020. The SK Mods now sponsored by Ryco. Ryco Motorsports provides custom iRacing setups and factory setups that will allow racers to not have to worry about setting up their own cars. It looks like we've got an internet problem here as everyone has disappeared on the Speedway, but save for Aaron Johnson. We're going to watch Johnson in what really is nothing more than glorified hot laps, at least for a lap or two here, and see if anyone can return to the Speedway. Johnson, really, since he's the only car showing up right now, quite likely that it's Johnson's internet that is the problem. The rest of the field back now. Johnson must have had some serious internet lag there. This is a recording from his computer. Internet lag being a problem quite often in iRacing as more and more people are using the internet, especially since the pandemic and work from home have doubled and in some locations tripled the demand for high-speed internet. Out front, it is still Matthew Beeman. Beeman running up front. What I was going to say earlier is Ryco Motorsports provides custom setups. They also provide setup packages for drivers that really either don't have the time or the inclination to build their own setups. You know, for some drivers, building a setup is not joyful. It's not something they enjoy doing. Some drivers do. But if you don't enjoy building your own setups, a setup shop may be the way to go. Ryco is one such setup shop, and they are now the title sponsor of the SK Modified Series on iRacing. 16 laps to go in a scheduled 35-lap event. Matthew Beeman continues to lead, followed by Thomas Flanagan, Johnson, Thomas Flanagan the younger, Tyler Ricker, Matthew Zaccardo, Jacob Houston, Thomas Andrews, Tyson Broad, and Anthony Celentano rounding out the top 10. Let's walk through the field one more time and see how the cars run on the Speedway. Behind the 2, that's the 87 of Thomas Flanagan the elder. He currently sits in the second spot. Behind Flanagan, that's the 00 of Johnson. Johnson running third. Behind Johnson, it's Thomas Flanagan the younger. The younger of the 2 Flanagans currently sits in the fourth spot. Behind the younger Flanagan on the Speedway, that's the 10 of Tyler Ricker, Ricker being shown in fifth. Then behind Ricker, it's the 06 of Matthew Zaccardo. Zaccardo currently being shown in the sixth spot. Behind Zaccardo on the Speedway, that's the 9 of Jacob Houston. Houston currently running in the seventh spot. He shows up as car number 17. Then behind Houston, that is the 13 car of Thomas Andrews. Andrews currently running 8th. Behind Andrews, that's the 4 of Tyson Broad. Broad working his way up. He started 16th. He currently runs in the 9th spot. Behind Broad, that is car number 3 of Anthony Celentano. Celentano being shown in 10th. Next on the Speedway, behind Anthony Celentano, that is the 11 car of Matt Kuhn. Kuhn being shown 2 laps down in 15th. Then behind Kuhn, it's the 14 of Cale Ogle. Ogle currently sitting in the 11th position. Behind Ogle on the Speedway, that next car in line is the 8 of Kurt Workman. Workman being shown in 12th. Behind Workman, the next car on the Speedway is the 16 of David Moore. Moore in the 13th spot. Then behind Moore, it's the 15, the NOS Energy Drinks car of Kurt Batty. Batty the last car on the lead lap. After Batty, we're back around to car number 2. That's your leader, Matthew Beeman. Beeman beginning to pull slightly away from the elder Flanagan. It's Beeman 1, Flanagan 2. Johnson still riding along in the 3rd spot. Well behind these 2 cars, behind Johnson, it's the younger Flanagan, then the 10 of Tyler Ricker rounding out the top 5. There are 9 laps remaining in this event. Matthew Beeman continues to hold the lead down the back straightaway now into turn number 3. Beeman extending the lead. He's about 3.5 car lengths ahead of the 87 of Flanagan. Down the front straightaway to the start-finish line. There'll be 8 to go this time by Matthew Beeman, starting to pull away from the elder Flanagan. It's Beeman, Flanagan, Johnson, Flanagan, Ricker, Zaccardo, Houston, Andrews, Broad, and Celentano, your top 10 in this iRacing SK Modified feature from USA International Speedway. Beeman running a near-flawless race. Takes his car past the start-finish line. There are 7 laps to go. The Eagle 1 Modified glued to the bottom, now out to the outside wall. Beeman into turn number 3, holding about a 4.5 car length lead over the 87 of Thomas Flanagan the elder. There'll be 6 to go this time by. It is Beeman continuing to lead. Flanagan 2nd, Johnson 3rd, Thomas Flanagan the younger 4th, Tyler Ricker in the 5th spot. Matthew Beeman now extending the lead. He's pulled away to about an 8 car length advantage over the 87 of Flanagan. There'll be 5 to go this time by. Matthew Beeman running a near-flawless race at USA International Speedway. That black and red Eagle 1 car, quick and smooth around this high-banked 3/4 mile oval. Into turn number 3. Beeman now through the center of 3 and 4 onto the front straightaway. Matthew Beeman, looks like a little bit of lap traffic coming into view. There are 4 to go here at USA. Beeman looks like he may be closing on some lap traffic. Could that come into play and give Thomas Flanagan the elder an opportunity to try to find his way around Beeman? We can just see the lapped car of Kurt Batty. He is the last car on the lead lap. Will he hold up the leader enough to allow Thomas Flanagan, the elder, to catch up? 3 to go. Beeman out of turn 2 down the back straightaway. He's running a nice smooth race here as he closes on lap traffic. It's not just the 15 of Batty. We can also see the 16 of David Moore, that In-N-Out Burger car. They're going to come by the start-finish line this time. There'll be 2 to go. It's Beeman 1, Flanagan 2, Johnson 3. Will lap traffic come into play? There are 2 laps left. If it does, will that give Thomas Flanagan an opportunity to close on the 2 and make a race out of it? Beeman down the back straightaway. He's about 8 car lengths behind the last car on the lead lap. That would be Kurt Batty. Beeman now down the front straightaway. He's going to take the white flag this time by. Will Thomas Flanagan have an opportunity to close on the 2 of Matthew Beeman? Out of turn number 2 now down the back straightaway. It looks like lap traffic will not come into play as Matthew Beeman will move into turn number 3. Now through the center of 3 and 4. He's going to come out of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. Ladies and gentlemen, your feature winner will be Matthew Beeman, with the 87 of Thomas Flanagan coming home second. Aaron Johnson in the 00 will be third. The 87 of Thomas Flanagan, the younger, fourth, with Tyler Ricker in the 10 rounding out the top 5. Behind Ricker, it's Matthew Zaccardo in 6th, Jacob Houston in 7th, Thomas Andrews 8th, Tyson Broad 9th, and Cale Ogle rounding out the top 10. Behind them, Kurt Workman finished 11th with Anthony Celentano 12th, David Moore 13th, Kurt Batty 14th. Those cars all on the lead lap, with Matthew Kuhn running 15th and Kevin Nelson finishing 16th. A great race from USA International Speedway in the SK Mods. This one won by Matthew Beeman. Matthew in the Eagle 1 Modified out of Florida. Well-earned victory at his home track. That'll do it for today's feature event for the Johnson iRacing team on the Johnson iRacing Network. This is Aaron Johnson saying, go fast, turn left, have fun.